What's good, Washington fans? Just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. I just want to break down this preview. We just got a lot of stuff going on, man. A lot of unfortunate stuff going on this week. Just want to send my condolences to Montez Sweat and his family. So we just had a rough past 2 weeks with DeShazer Everett. There's a lot of stuff going on and off the field. Daron Payne's dad. I'll talk about that real quick in the comments that he made. I made the tweet on Twitter that after the fight that he probably will be included in the trade package. So we don't know, but I just got a feeling, I got a hunch that we might be going our separate ways this off season. But we'll see. I don't want to speculate and overreact to something like that. But as these previews go, you're gonna talk about the injury report and key matchups and keys to victory, and then we'll finish up here. But I'll read some tweets from his dad, and honestly, he was speaking some facts here. He said, get a freaking quarterback. He didn't say freaking, but he said, get a freaking quarterback. And everybody agrees with him on that. He said, let me see how many sacks you can get being double teamed. Also said, if you call a man a female, Daron Payne should have knocked Allen out. And then he says, why don't you blame John Allen? Do you know what he called my son? He said, first of all, Washington football fans, find out what really happened on the sideline before you start talking about shiz you don't have a freaking clue about. My son will not be disrespected by no one. Allen is the female. My son don't bother nobody, but when disrespect him, you will get seen about. Bloodline cut from a different cloth than these internet thugs. But please don't cross that line. He got the whole South riding, the whole South. So his dad had a lot to say, man. He had a lot to say. So it's not a good look at all. But, like I said, tensions flare up. Fights happen all the time. We've seen many fights on the sideline. We've seen it in basketball, Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard fighting each other. This is not new. Michigan State, Tom Izzo and their players, they fight each other all the time. So this is nothing new. Speaking of the Eagles, Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens, they didn't throw punches, but we've seen players fight each other all the time. You look at the Giants in training camp; they was fighting each other all the time in training. Joe Judge had some BS to say, trying to talk some trash and throw some shade on us. Joe Judge is a freaking clown. He is a clown. Let's see. And I wanted to bring up this conversation too. When you talk about tanking and winning games, and these games are not meaningless, honestly. And I don't want to sound delusional, but we still are in the playoff hunt. We still are in playoff contention, technically, mathematically. Now, I know it's like a 2% chance, but honestly, if we do beat the Eagles, which I don't think the Eagles are this juggernaut that everybody's acting like they are. You look at the quarterbacks that they beat. They beat Garrett Gilbert. They beat Jake Fromm. They beat Zach Wilson. They beat Jared Goff and the Lions. They beat Trevor Siemian, a third-string quarterback. They kind of beat up on teams like we did last year when we beat up on Andy Dalton and teams like that. They beat they beat Jake Fromm and Mike Glyndon. They beat some mediocre teams. And there was a stat that showed they haven't beat a team that right now is over 500. So all of their wins, they beat Matt Ryan and the Falcons. They're below 500. So all the teams that they beat are below 500. The Philadelphia, they're playing good football. But you look at the schedule like last year with us when we beat backup quarterbacks, they're in a similar boat as us in their win column. So, but when you talk about tanking and losing games and rather winning the last two games, I would rather win because it's two divisional games. If we were playing like the Colts or some random team in the AFC, then I'd be like, okay, who cares? But I kind of want to win these last two games. I really do. I would like to win these last just for bragging rights. I'm tired of losing to the Giants, and I can't lose to Jake Fromm, and I cannot lose to Mike Glennon. I can't do it for pride. I just can't do it. But I do understand the draft part two. We're at the 9th spot in the draft, and we could potentially move up to the 6th, I want to say, yeah, because Seattle's like 6-10 or something like 6-10, I want to say, and the Vikings, the Seattle, I got to look at it. We'll break it down later, the draft stuff, but Joe Judge has some BS to say, and like I said, the Eagles wins, man, they're kind of fugazi if you look at them, to be honest with you. But let's get to the injury report real quick here. Tress Way is now on the COVID list right now. So we still got Sam Cosmi's on a virus list. We just got a lot of guys on the virus. We still have some guys on the virus list, to be honest with you. But looking at the playoff scenario too, the Minnesota Vikings are 7-7. They played the Rams on week 16. They already lost to the Rams, so they played Green Bay at Green Bay. They're gonna lose that game. And New Orleans, they play versus Carolina. They'll probably win that game. Atlanta, they play at Buffalo. So that's a loss. I'm telling you, man, the playoffs, I don't want playoffs. We talking about playoffs, but it's really not that far-fetched. If the Washington football team, we actually play good football on Sunday, we potentially could win. We really could. Like I said, the Eagles are really not that. They're not a juggernaut. They're just not, to be honest with you. They're playing good football, but they're not a juggernaut. Like I said, let's get to the injury report real quick. So guys who are Antonio Gibson, limited in practice. He did not participate in practice on Thursday. We already know he always plays some way, somehow. He always finds a way to play. He was listed with a hip injury. William Jackson did not practice. That hurts with a calf injury. Montez Sweat, personal, of course. His brother being killed in Richmond, Virginia, did not practice. Sadiq Charles, limited in practice. Curtis Samuel, hamstring, limited on both days. So he's trending towards playing. He's actually might play. Honestly, it hasn't really mattered whether he's played or not. Look at his numbers. He's having like two or three catches for like 5 yards each game. Scott Turner has to actually call some plays for him to go downfield rather than just gadget plays all the time. Let's actually use him as an actual wide receiver, number 2 wide receiver. James Smith-Williams, limited. Taylor Heineke, full participant on Thursday. Sam Cosmi with COVID. The virus, did not practice on Thursday, so we'll see if he comes back or not. Miles Sanders, we get a break on the Eagles side. Miles Sanders is going to be out with a hand injury. Jordan Howard has a stinger, but he's going to play on Sunday. Fletcher Cox did not practice with rest, but he's going to play. Basically, they're healthy at the right time. They're healthy at the right time. We're not healthy at the right time. We're just decimated with injuries right now. But once again, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. But yeah, let's get to key matchups here. Terry McLaurin versus Darius Slay. We got to get him the football. Garrett Gilbert was able to get him to the football in that one pass, but other than that, we just didn't really get the ball to him. Let's try to make it a point to him. Some quick slants, screens, different kind of things. We just got to get our best player to football. We just got to get the ball in his hands. It is what it is. A reverse, jet sweep, something. We got to get him involved and get him touching the football. Taylor Heineke cannot underthrow him. Like that first play of the game against Trayvon Diggs, that was just not a good pass at all. It was not. And that's why, if Ron wants to go to Kyle Allen, I don't mind it. Now, we're talking about I'm still a Taylor Heineke fan, but, it's like we're arguing with John Beck and Rex Grossman. Kind of similar to that. Kyle Allen's not going to come in and win you a bunch of games, but I just feel like it's time to just get a different look, just to see the arm strength and give guys a different opportunity. I love Taylor Heineke. We would not have that 4-game win streak without Taylor Heineke, which he did throw a lot of interceptions that were dropped in that 4-game win streak. But I think it's just time to see a change, just to see something different, switch it up. Especially if Scott Turner's not going to use Taylor Heineke to the best of his abilities, running around, RPOs, zone reads, which is stuff that we don't really do for Taylor Heineke, which is in some more design runs to help him out and make him more of a dual threat and more of a dynamic quarterback, just to keep the defense on their heels, which is Scott Turner. I don't know why he doesn't do that. But if he's going to, have our quarterbacks just drop back and throw the football, I think Kyle Allen would be better at that. Now, Kyle Allen is a turnover machine, 16 touchdowns, 16 picks with the Panthers, and then a couple of fumbles, and then the fumble really bad against the Giants. But he actually had some good moments. The Cowboys game, he had a good game. In the Giants game, he did lead us back. When Ron went for 2, the terrible decision, he did lead us down the field to possibly win that game. So he was playing well in the Giants game before his ankle was broken by that dirty hit by Jabril Peppers. But yeah, like I said, key matchups: Darius Slay, Devontae Smith versus Kendall Fuller. You got to look at that offensive line versus defensive line. We got to win in the trenches, man. We got dominated by the Eagles last game. What they had 200-something rushing yards. They are the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL. We got our butts kicked. Miles Sanders said we had the wide open rush lanes. He had the biggest lanes he could see. But yeah, like I said, people say we could play spoiler. It's not really spoiler. Like I said, we technically have a chance, but I'm not a big believer in this team right now. Just the injuries and the fighting and all the stuff off the field. It's tough. It's tough to win like that. It really is. Keys to victory here. We gotta start fast, and we did start fast last game. We did start fast. We jumped out 10-0, but we just couldn't score. Garrett Gilbert, they shut that down. We couldn't stop the run. Gotta stop the run. We gotta limit the run. I don't think we'll be able to stop the run because their rush attack is legit. Jalen Hurts is like another running back out there. But without Miles Sanders being there, we do get a little break. But it's not even about their running back. It's just about the rushing lanes they created. Like, honestly, me and you, whoever's watching, we could have ran through those rushing lanes. That's how big the rushing lanes were. Jamin Davis coming back. Cole Holcomb coming back. That should help. They were there last game, too, and they got their butts kicked. Montez Sweat played last game. We got our butts kicked. So, This is on Jack Del Rio. I think this game is really on Jack Del Rio because he really struggles against mobile quarterbacks. Saw it last year with Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, and some other mobile quarterbacks we played last year. He really struggled against those guys. And whenever there's a strong rushing attack and a mobile quarterback, Jack Del Rio really, really struggles. And honestly, that's what the modern day quarterback is a mobile running quarterback. And he has to devise up a scheme plan to be better and limit Jalen Hurts, keep him in the pocket, make him throw the football. We got to get interior pressure. John Allen, Daron Payne got to step up. Matt Ioannidis, they got to play together. You know, let that fight get behind you, man. You just next play, next game, honestly. They got to play together. Tim said I want to see him get some snaps. Montez Sweat, if he plays or not. Honestly, I don't blame him if he doesn't play. James Smith-Williams, other guys got to step up. Casey Toohill, I don't even know who's available anymore. Shaka Tony at the defensive ends because we had so many virus things going on. But those guys, they got to step up and have integrity in their rush lanes. Keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket, contain. We got beat on the outside last game. So we got to keep contained, be disciplined. If they're going to do a zone read with Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, they got some guys that can run. All their running backs are still pretty darn good without Miles Sanders in there. Cannot get beat deep by Devontae Smith. It's the same keys from last game. Jalen Reagor, he drops a lot of passes. That first half is going to be crucial because they started slow against us. They started slow against the Giants. But the second half, of course, is always huge. You know, we got to start fast and get some points on them because they drop a lot of passes, and Jalen Hurts sometimes he'll miss receivers. He missed Dallas Goedert in the end zone and against the Giants last week. I saw that. So we got to punch the ball out, rip it out. He will fumble the ball. He will hold it out and be a little lackadaisical out of like it's a basketball. You got to smack the football out of his hands. This is pretty simple. Limit big plays, limit the run, and contain Devontae Smith. I thought we did an okay job. He did cook us a little bit. I thought we did okay with William Jackson, Kendall Fuller, or William Jackson did a decent job last game. You look at the numbers, Eagles, they're 28th in completion percentage allowed, and they're 31st in sacks. They don't get a lot of sacks. Ryan Kerrigan hasn't had a good year at all, so please don't let him come back and get a sack if he does play this game. Now, there's going to be a lot of Philly fans in there. It probably is going to be an Eagles home game. It probably will be like it was back in 2018. That's how it felt when they blew us out 24-0. Kind of giving me that vibes a little bit. But it depends on how our quarterback plays. Like I said, I don't agree with Ron Rivera saying that we should play, Taylor Heinicke's going to start, but we're going to see Kyle Allen. That makes zero sense. It should be either one or the other, because now you're knocking down the confidence of Taylor Heinicke. You're like, oh, we're definitely going to see Kyle Allen, but we're starting Taylor Heinicke. It makes zero sense. You're showing zero faith in your quarterback. So it makes zero sense. Ron Rivera's made a lot of questionable decisions though. Offensively, let's establish a run. Let's get Antonio Gibson involved in the passing game. Let's try to do that. Curtis Samuel gets involved. Let's be creative with him. Run him at the backfield. Use him as a running back a little bit with J.D. McKissic out. Just give him that J.D. McKissic role, to be honest with you. Jared Patterson gets some touches. Of course, the turnover battle. Whenever the Eagles lose the turnover battle, that's usually when they lose. When they lost to the Giants, they lost the turnover battle as well. When we win the turnover battle, that's usually we win. So, of course, that's the obvious one. Get off the field on third down defense, 3rd and 6. Jalen Reagor, the screen pass he caught, that was just terrible by Jack Del Rio. Calling a blitz on that, and Jalen Reagor got an easy screen pass for a 20-yard gain. We were down by 3 points in the fourth quarter. We were there. People say I was delusional, but honestly, it was 20-17 in the fourth quarter, and we had them at a 3rd and 6, and they called a screen pass to Jalen Reagor, and we let him scamper up the yard for 20 yards, and that was the ball game, 27-17. Like I said, let's get guys involved. I want to see what De'Ami Brown can do. I want to see what DeAndre Carter can do, of course. Adam Humphries has to catch the football. Get the ball to Terry McLaurin. I want to see what Curtis Samuel can do. John Bates has been playing very, very well. Let's feed John Bates. Let's get him some more touches. Let's get him the football. Ricky Seals-Jones as well. Offensive line has to block well. Like I said, Eagles are 31st in sacks. They only have 25 sacks on the year, and they're 28th in completion percentage allowed. So I would try to get the ball out quick. Taylor Heinicke, some quick hitters, up tempo. Let's do something different. Up tempo. Let's do some no huddle. We have nothing to lose here. No huddle, up tempo. I would do some trick plays as well. Maybe a flea flicker or something. I would just do something different with Scott Turner. Scott Turner's got to do something different, to be honest with you. So, time of possession, as always, control the clock. Keep Jalen Hurts off the field. That's what we did when we had the 4-game winning streak. Cam Sims as well. Let's get him involved too. Let's give him some chances, some 50-50 contested catches. Let's give this guy a chance out there. So, and of course, touchdowns, not field goals. Trustway being out on the COVID list or the virus list. I don't know who's going to be our punter. Is it going to be Joey Sly? Is it going to be what's his name, Brian Johnson. We just don't know. We just don't know. That's how it is right now. But Dallas Goedert, we have to contain him. Cameron Curl being back should help. That should be a big help. Jeremy Reeves, of course, has been playing better as of late with more opportunities. But, if it's a 50-50 chance with Dallas Goedert, just knock the ball down because he did get mossed by Dallas Goedert. And, you look at Terry McLaurin, he mossed Darius Slay when we actually gave him an opportunity to catch the football. So we got to get this guy some more touches. So, but yeah, I'm not going to keep you guys too long here with this one, man. It's pretty simple, cut and dry here. Hopefully we don't get dominated like, when the Eagles take over the stadium too. DeAndre Carter, let's get him involved as well. And no muff punts. Let's get this kick returns going with DeAndre Carter, get him involved in the offense as well. Fourth downs, how I would go if it's 4th and 3 on their 48, on the Eagles 48-yard, I would go for it. I would just go for basically all the 4th downs, to be honest with you. Try to be smart with it, of course, riverboat run. At the same time, I would do some trick plays, honestly. Maybe some 2-point conversions and stuff like that. Like I said, the season is almost over. It really is. We're looking at the draft, and it's still some type of playoff position. But honestly, I think we should go out guns a-blazing in this game. We have nothing to lose, to be honest with you. So, but my prediction here is I got us losing 24-20. Now, if it does get ugly, then I see us losing like 31-13. But I got us losing 24-20. I think we're going to be down 24-13. It's going to be a competitive game, but we're going to be down 24-13. We're going to score a touchdown 24-20. Then we're going to do an onside kick, and then we lose off that by not getting the onside kick. So, all right, you guys, let me know what you guys think. How's the football team? Peace.